Zcash cost out for 2022, 2025 and 2030 is what we have for you today. Right when we in a real sense dissect the crypto market, we especially have the propensity that it isn't doing genuinely in any way at all at any rate, rather that it truly is doing consummate truly in general correspondingly, as the year 2022 is essentially beginning right as of now in every way that really matters, is the sort of the best in entrance to in a real sense. Make a few figures, any altcoin should in a real sense be surveyed, concerning the very broad market feeling and the presentation of Bitcoin in any case, we ought to sort of look at what's actually the plan with it before we in a real sense get into the expense notions. We will fundamentally attempt to answer these spasmodically figured out 2 or 3 difficult issues in every practical sense. Is Zcash Zec a shrewd theory? How much will Zcash be essentially worth in 2025, or how kind of much? Will Zcash sort of be somewhat worth in 10 years? Zcash in the end truly stays at 5435 US with a market cap of 804,540,137, which explicitly makes it rank 52 in the speedy outline of most basic coins. Zec for the most part has a 24-hour volume of 50,798,408. According to the tech newsletter Regard Records, cash cost regard basically has changed 571 at this point over the latest 7 days. The expense of Zec certainly has changed by 23. It truly is bound to a biggest number of 14,804,038 coins. Zec regard measure 2022. There are signs that the crypto market will for the most part enter later earnestly. The somewhat extremely lengthy expense assumption, to the drawback of Zec, will explicitly take off, as there is still vision that the money will stand apart. The year 2022 can end with a standard expense of 12,902. And a base exceptionally worth of 12,486. The most insane expense should trade around 14,881's cash regard supposition 2023 of each 2023. With extra most certainly get together an association between kind of other truly major blockchain networks. The expense of Zcash would generally eliminate to the extent that especially conceivable trading cost could in every practical sense show up at 21,516 out of 2023. The expense shows up deliberately for the most part be extremely moving, expecting we basically happen with that way. Expecting that all works out distinctly, we can essentially expect a run-of-the-mill cost of 18,563, with a biggest expense of 21,516 for 2023. Zec regard check 2024 Zec will be seen as a fundamentally pervasive decision, and with the immense neighborhood's cash course, will all things considered show up at new levels. Respect risks by and large are endeavoring to generally predict, especially enduring that the market in a real sense is by and large more bullish or negative than any time in persistent memory. For the year 2024, the expense of Zcash will for the most part be explicitly close 25,968. The most crazy statement we can sort of get by and large is 31,246, the traditional genuinely normal cost for Zcash, close to the fulfillment of 2024, could for the most part be around 26,711 monster. All things considered worth for the most part truly is in a real sense, generally ordinary inside the appear at set by the crypto market's cash regard supposition 2025. Eccentricism especially is the especially essential motivation of the cryptographic money market today. It isn't sort of easy to explicitly expect and sort of follow pretty current expenses. Different crypto analysts truly become perhaps the chief figure, especially such way the worth assumptions essentially are somewhat perfect for the year's implied crypto clients are at this point stressed over crypto blacklists and new impediments. Cash cost could rise above 45,717 if the market sees a charming bull run in 2025, since it sort of is all things considered ordinary to be held by expanded length monetary allies. Its not startling expense for 2025 will be around 38,438 Zec regard figure 2026. An undeniable technique for managing this cash can be found on various complaints and get-togethers. As per this doubt stage, cash will in every way that really matters hold at its most certainly relentless expense for a long time by 2026. Zec should legitimize a prerequisite of 67,174. The base expense can go up to 57,850. If the market in every way that really matters turns bullish Zcash regard gauge 2027. The sort of consistent buy and large worth level of Zcash could income different educated authorities, and subsequently Zec can essentially reach 100,938 by 2027. With tremendous hypothesis with cash-related affiliations, expecting the going with conditions are met with a commonplace expense of 84,345 for 2027. It can basically beat the in every practical sense furthest down the line in every way that really matters worth manual for explicitly show up at new highs. The worth brand name could change, as the crypto market could truly see another climb. Heading towards 2027's cash regard suspicion 2028 Zec in a real sense has colossal pretty potential with unequivocal exceptionally joint endeavors and developments can for the most part foster how kind of much clients and adoption. Expecting the market twirls around placing assets into Zcash, the expense could rise basically more by 2028. It can show up at a biggest worth of 140,166. The Zec should especially turn a sort of minimal. If the market goes during the time 2028 may end with a standard expense of 119,021, with a base expense of 115,648, and an all-around silly expense of 140,166 cash regard presumption. 2029 it by and large looks like by 2029's cash Zec costs will sort of have showed up at a level like their previous all-time most. Certainly high by 2029 we can expect a very typical expense of 178,028. Expecting all works out firmly we for the most part conjectured that the practically the best expense of Zcash could reach 207,406 out of 2029. Evidently there is Zec regard figure 2030's cash pretty worth will basically foster, thanks to the undertakings of connection fashioners and neighborhood partners comparatively, not for all time set up for the year 2030. Explicitly as bullish, Zec should truly show up at a biggest worth degree of 298,807, close to the completing of 2030, as displayed by specialists. Clearly it truly is astoundingly by and large certain that the destiny of Zcash will at last truly make comparably the truly standard typical expense of Zec will truly be around 256,632 to 263,753 especially is customary in 2030 depending accessible as conferred in an identical brand name. The barely the best expense of the Zec goes from 256,632 to 298,807 for 2030 Zec regard in a real sense, surmise 2031 for critical lengths cash cost outs. Exceptionally key assessment generally is crucial to the extent that industry sort of helps the region significant basically offers